Yo, Bruce, what's for lunch?
Little sausage, gravy, hash browns, egg casserole, baby, my favorite.
All right, sounds good. A little brunch for lunch. Let's get cooking.
I'm a private chef, cook for money, yeah.
Guys, welcome back to What's for Lunch. Bruce Arians, welcome to the kitchen. First coach ever, so that's exciting.
I was glad to be here, baby. Was cooking up one of my favorite things today.
Yeah, is this your go-to, like a?
Yeah, I'm a faster.
Okay.
So, and I love breakfast food. So it's really hard for me to give up breakfast.
Okay.
So it's like brunch is like the perfect time.
Yeah, my favorite too. Growing up as a kid, breakfast was always my favorite, and that's how I learned how to cook, was all breakfast stuff. So it's got a special place for me, and this will be a good one. Now, do you go by Coach still, or do you go Bruce Works, or what? I feel like once it's like a doctor. Once you have the title, you never.
Yeah, Coach, BA, Bruce.
Okay, all right.
All the above.
All right, I like Coach because I still call all my high school and my college coaches are still Coach no matter how old I get. So I like that. All right, so what we're gonna do? Well, you have some breakfast sausage here that I just got a little head start on. I'm gonna get this back on the heat, and then to make hash browns. You like to cook it all? Are you a
little bit, not as good as I used to be.
Okay, you've lost a touch?
I have. I used to make some good hollandaise and other things.
Oh.
I haven't tried it in a long time.
Hollandaise is one that's
a tough one.
That's an advanced sauce right there. I didn't expect that. How often were you cooking?
Back in the day, I used to cook a lot, especially summertime.
Okay.
I'm a grill guy, but I mean, I love to cook fish on a grill, which is unusual. Mm-hmm. I had this great white Tabasco sauce that used to be legit. People in Mississippi loved it.
You a spice guy?
Yes.
Okay, so then we're gonna add some spice to this. Now, we're gonna let this get back on the heat. To get the perfect hash brown, we're shredding the potato ourselves. I got some already going here, but I'm gonna show you the step. Whenever you're doing, just get a potato. I like to leave the skins on, get a little bit more crisp of that, and you wanna shred it into a bowl of cold water. And what this is gonna do, if we just shredded this without the water, it'd turn brown fast. It'd start to oxidize, and you also need the starch to soak out. To get the crispiest hash brown, the crispiest potato, you gotta let that, you'll see the water start to turn milky white. That's all the starch coming out of the potato. Same with French fries, same thing. You want to get it crispy, you gotta let the potato soak and just kind of get that starch out. So that's the first process of this. When you give a speech, I've always wondered, are those pre-prepared, a pre-game speech, or is that all just on the fly?
For me, mostly on the fly.
Really?
Yeah, I never did well preparing stuff. I'd lose my spot and forget it and stammer. So it's like whatever came in my head, I'd fire it out and start babbling.
Did you ever walk away from speech going, I crushed that one?
A couple times, yeah. They were short too.
Yeah, they're short. Just get real fired up. I like that, dude. It's crazy how a coach can they come in there, you don't know what you're expecting, and you fire the whole team up. It's got to be fun to have bring that kind of energy. Do you have a favorite speech, movie coaches?
Yeah, I've got to go back to Newt Rockney. You know that Save the Gipper and the whole thing, and I'm old enough to know what that meant.
I was gonna say, you know what, that went over my head. I was just gonna nod and pretend like I knew what that was, but that one went past me. I gotta go. I'm biased because I'm a hockey player. So Herb Brooks, that miracle speech.
That is legit.
That's one of the best. Okay, so our sausages are heating up. Now, how do you want your eggs cooked for this?
For me, I like them scrambled.
Scrambled?
With a little cheese. And the cheese on the hash browns or cheese in the eggs, either one.
Either one, okay. So I usually go hash browns, we'll do in the bowl. You want it right like this. So hash brown, cheese. We'll do cheese in the eggs, we'll do a little bit, we'll still mix the bowl.
Can never have too much cheese.
Yeah, exactly. Do you mind, you want to crack these eggs for me?
You got it, baby.
I'll have you do that, and then we'll get started. There we go. So we have our sausages fully cooked, and now we have some of that fat that's come off there. I'm gonna put a little bit more butter in there just to get the best. You know, you can never have too much butter either. Never have too much butter. And you play football and all growing up. Was that your main sport?
No, I was actually a better baseball player. I played basketball, baseball, whatever's in season.
Oh, okay.
You know?
So any multi-sport. And then how'd you fall in love? How'd you get into coaching?
Well, you know, when I was a kid, everybody I looked up to was named Coach, and I thought school teachers were rich.
Okay.
So I didn't know any better, and so it was a thing that I always wanted to be a coach and a teacher and a guidance counselor.
Oh wow!
So I started getting my master's in counseling and ended up started coaching and bought a house, had a baby, and got fired and moved. Welcome to coaching, baby.
There's life right there. Wow. What's the hardest position to coach? Is there a certain one that's harder than others?
I think offensive line, defensive line, because you're dealing with 4 to 5 guys, you know, and the cohesiveness has to be there to build that cohesiveness. And you know, I think some people would say the quarterback, but when you've got a good one, he's easy to coach.
Sure.
They coach themselves sometimes.
Right. Well, I was thinking. I mean, with a football team, you have so many guys and then so many different personalities. You have to kind of tailor it, like, know.
Yeah,
how to
especially
talk to
now, you know, and people learn differently now. The kids today learn totally different than they did 15 years ago. So it's finding that hot spot, how to get them taught, and really. Coaching is nothing but glorified school teachers. We just give our test in front of millions of people.
Sure.
And if they fail, you get fired.
Sure. But I feel like coaches, you know, some of them strike the fear of God into you. Some of them are, you know, nicer or you, but some of them are like militant. Where'd you fall on that?
I was one of those guys that Coach Bryant, who I worked for his last couple of years, his best advice ever was coach him hard and hug him later.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, when I start calling you really ugly names.
Yep.
I'm talking about your football.
Right.
Your football sucks. You're a hell of a guy.
Yeah,
you know, but your football really sucks right now. We got to fix it.
Right.
And so it's like, if I really got on a guy bad, I make sure I found him in the locker room afterwards and knew it wasn't personal. You know, that was all business. I'm just trying to make you better. Right. And I might have called you some ugly names, but you know, they all understood and got it. Yeah,
it's to motivate you. I mean, I feel like, you know, well, I had a coach say once, if you know, if I'm not yelling at you, it means I don't care about you. So you'd rather have me care and yell. Okay, so our eggs. Okay, those are looking good. That's where I like them, and I take them off the heat right here because that residual heat's going to keep cooking.
Yep.
Sausage gravy. All we did was, while we were talking, added some flour to this, to that grease, and then some whole milk. And now that's going to start to thicken up. I'm going to go a touch more milk. Now, you said you like spice. Do you want a little paprika, a little cayenne pepper in this? Do you want a little
paprika for sure.
A little paprika. Yeah. So we're going a little paprika. You a sandwich guy, or you both?
Oh yeah.
All right? I mean, this is a tough question. If you had to do one sandwich, that's all you get the rest of your life. The perfect sandwich. What are you picking? What are you sticking with?
Oh, great burger.
Great burger.
Great burger. And
you like a thick patty, or like you smash down?
I'm a thick guy. Yeah.
Thick guy.
Yep.
Perfect. Have you fold that in there, and then we're gonna add some little salt and pepper to that. Yeah, that'll start to melt. Perfect. All right, well, without further ado, we have our eggs ready. We have our sausage gravy here with our paprika, and then we have our I like my hash browns crisp, nice and well done and crispy.
Indeed.
So, like, to get that, we skip this stage, but I'll show you right here. We have our hash browns done, but once they've been soaking, see how that water's kind of brown now?
Great.
Yeah. So all that starch came out, and then you want to take it and you got to really just wring it out. So you put it in a clean tea towel like this, and you go and you squeeze all that starch out, and then that's how you're going to get the crispiest hash brown. And this goes on the flat top, or you can use it in a pan just like that with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and I try not to make a mess, but I tend to do that every time.
You and me both.
Yeah, and then, you know, that's half of cooking. You got to make a little bit of a mess. We're gonna do one more piece of cheese. It's right on this hash brown.
Yes, indeed.
Now, a little trick. If you ever want cheese to melt fast too, take a bowl, little splash of water. That's steam. For burgers too. All right. We got the melted cheese. Hash browns go down. You go eggs and then gravy?
Eggs and gravy, yes indeed.
A little fresh pepper on that. And then top it off. That homemade sausage gravy right there. Coach, and there you go. You have your cheesy hash browns, sausage gravy, scrambled eggs. I enjoy a Pepsi with my meal. Every crave-worthy bite tastes better with Pepsi. You have the Pepsi Zero Sugar here, but Coach, dig in. That's all you.
Got it, baby. Perfect.
Boom.
It might be the best gravy ever.
Best gravy ever. You hear that?
Yeah, man.
I'm saving that. Keep clip that. Save that. There you go, Coach. That's gonna do it. You have your cheesy hash browns, sausage gravy, and scrambled eggs, guys. That's gonna do it for this episode of What's for Lunch. Bruce Arians, Coach, thanks for being here.
Thanks, brother.
Appreciate you. See you guys next time.